Hey guys, I got a confession to make. I put up a video early today and kind of regret I did that because I wasn't in the best of moods, and I'm sure you saw it when you saw the video, but I need to get some stuff off my chest before I just explode. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, and I just keep thinking about what we have just accepted, what we have found so acceptable. And it's infuriating, like the term Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day? Memorial Day is supposed to be about those who sacrificed their lives for this country. Some of them died after their service, but they all served the country, right? So, Happy Memorial Day? We need to kind of stop that. We need to, then maybe we can actually return the day to what it was intended to be, which is a day to honor the men and women who fought for this country. Veterans Day is for the living. Memorial Day is for those who have passed on. That's really kind of infuriating. The other thing is, I still don't understand why people are saying 22 a day, 20 a day when they're talking about veterans committing suicide. When is that going to stop? And oh, by the way, why did it even start? I mean, the VA and the DOD, they're all into, suicide awareness. Well, I hate to inform everybody, but veterans already know they're killing themselves. Civilians have their own problems with suicides. Suicides are up across every demographic. So that's another thing we really need to get away from, is reducing them down to a number, because those numbers, 22 a day and 20 a day, are not even close. And we've covered that in the past. I'm not going to bore you with that one. But I'd really, really, really like to know, aside from that, whose bright idea was it to have fun because veterans are committing suicide? Whose bright idea was that? Really, seriously. Hey, let's drop down and do 22 push-ups. Push-ups in the military? That's punishment. That's exercise, but the extra ones, yeah, that's punishment. Whose bright idea was that to do a stunt like that because veterans are committing suicide? Whose bright idea was it to have an event where it's intended that we have fun because of the tragedy of 22 veterans a day taking their own lives? And oh, by the way, it meant so much to the people doing it, they didn't even bother reading the report, because then they would have seen it was limited data from 21 states. There's so many things that we have found acceptable. It is acceptable for members of Congress and military brass and people at the VA to say, we don't know why. We just don't know why. We don't know why. We don't know how. We're doing everything possible. Well, I hate to clue you in, people, because if you're on that end of it, if you're asking the same questions to the same people, you're going to get the same answer and you're going to get the same results. That's not acceptable. We need to stop just accepting stuff. Americans are bright. We're tenacious. I mean, we are a patriotic bunch, and we do value the military. We do value our veterans. But how much do we value them? Have we been devaluing them? Because if we find all this crap acceptable, that's not showing that we value them. The other thing that really gets me infuriated is when I hear people who I know care about veterans indicating that sending them into private care is a good thing. Stop and think about this one too. Veterans are veterans. They're not civilians. Veterans prepaid for their care when they became disabled serving in the military. It's not acceptable to send them into private, for-profit health care. And oh, by the way, look them up. The same members of Congress that are pushing for that to be done were the same ones that were complaining that our health care was so terrible they needed to end it. That's right. It was so terrible. But now they're saying, oh, by the way, we're going to send veterans into that same system. And oh, by the way, we wait for appointments too. We wait, especially if you're a new patient and you go to see your doctor for the first time, you're waiting for that appointment. So that bull that the press keeps reporting, oh, wait time, yeah, it does happen, but it also happens in the civilian world. And when you send a veteran into that line, what you're going to get is they're waiting behind everybody else. Because especially if they have better health care than the VA, because they know the VA is going to take a long time to pay them. They're a for-profit company, so yeah, they're going to be looking at their bottom line too. So we need to stop seeing everything is so acceptable, because it's not. It is not acceptable veterans are treated the way that they are. It is not acceptable for people to run around and say Happy Memorial Day. We need to start getting some of this stuff right, or we are going to keep seeing a worsening of the same problems veterans have dealt with for decades. That's right, none of this is new. But it's only going to stay the way it is if we refuse to actually do something about it. So how about it? This is your life. We need to really, really take some action, or nothing is going to change. So again, sorry for the video earlier. It's kind of hard to be positive when your head's ready to explode. So hopefully, better mood next week. See you next week.